he was a good Samaritan, he would have survived.
Well,
technically, he was kind
hard.
of an average Samaritan because, his skill set wasn't up to par.
Well, I think he sacrificed the most any Samaritan can sacrifice, so I'd say he's a great Samaritan.
Thank you for saving us.
Now, this story is wrapped in multiple mysteries, and the more you learn, the more questions arise. Stripped down to its core, however, this is a story of out-of-control mental illness, but of an entirely different kind than what we've ever covered.
To be honest, I actually think out-of-control mental illness is better than in-control mental illness, because then you get Jeff Bezos. When it's in control, it's very focused and it ruins everything. Out of control, it's kind of like buckshot. So yeah, you're going to get hit a little bit, but as we know from Dick Cheney's friend, you can survive a lot of pellets.
Especially if you
Bezos,
don't.
which is just a sniper to your brain.
The big thing about getting a lot of pellets is you also have to be able to keep a secret. Like
That's
how you
true.
can keep the pellets inside of you. But we are actually really good examples of 3 people with in-control mental illness, technically.
Yes, laser-focused in control mental illness.
Yeah!
Well, this was not a slow burn of warning signs, ignored diagnoses, and willful ignorance. Rather, this is the story of an explosion fueled by a rare psychiatric syndrome known as folie à deux. Folie à deux, which translates to English as a madness for two.
A madness for 2.
That's adorable. Oh my God, this is the greatest Valentine's Day of all time. I can't believe you brought me to Alice in Wonderland themed restaurant.
Yes, now it's time to shit our pants and tell the world how Barack Obama's trying to make me menstruate.
Oh my, this is a crazy place.
But it's, double insanity. This is one of the weirdest, because it's kind of pulled out of the left hip pocket by psychiatrists a lot of times, trying to figure out why, mothers and sisters kill people sporadically.
Sure.
This is one of those, and it's a very specific thing. It kind of does fall down into the world of it's mother-daughters and sister,
Woo!
which is very interesting because there would be a great episode of T and Tamara of
Oh,
them
I love
just
that show.
fucking dirty bathrobes on the street talking about how fucking there are gremlins at the Walmart.
That's the reboot right there.
Now, we'll get into the full story of the Erickson twins here in a bit, but before we do, let's fully explain just how a madness for 2 works. And we're also going to go into a few other examples of the phenomenon in which criminal activity was the result. Madness for 2 is a shared psychosis in which delusional belief and sometimes hallucinations are transmitted from one person to another. Usually, this happens when the 2 sufferers are physically isolated, overly stressed, or, in the case of the twins, extraordinarily close. In fact, from the cases I've seen, madness for 2 happens almost exclusively in families or in people who are already in familiar relationships, like close friends or marriages.
There's mini cults that are a little bit more intense because it's not just conscious thought. It's somehow 2 people or more get together and then they all begin to either get the delusions downloaded into them by an aggressor, or everybody kind of spontaneously jumps onto the crazy bandwagon together.
All right. There's always one person up top. There's always a primary with all of this that for some reason everybody else joins in on. And those other people, most of the time, have no past history of mental illness in any way whatsoever. They just happen to catch it. It's contagious psychosis.
Interesting.
Now, these delusions can take a couple of different forms. In bizarre delusions, a person might believe something impossible, claiming, for example, that a team of surgeons are sneaking into the room every night to swap out their organs without waking them up.
Well, that would be an amazing team of surgeons, and you would have to imagine they're little mice.
That it would be cuter that way, but I don't think that they don't take into account how difficult it is to schedule a surgery.
Yes.
How difficult it is to actually see a surgeon in any way, shape, or form, especially in America. Just the idea of getting a consultation is very difficult.
What they have just fantasized about is great healthcare. I would love that if you could have everything removed, replaced overnight, and just wake up I didn't even notice.
Then there are non-bizarre delusions, things that are unlikely but still possible. In this case, a person might believe that the FBI is stalking them, even if the FBI has absolutely no reason to pay any attention to this person. But that's still a possibility.
It is a possibility.
Yeah, it depends on what you say on the internet.
Absolutely.
But no matter the severity of the delusions, the phenomenon seems to follow a pattern. Usually there is a dominant personality known as the primary who is suffering a delusion of some sort, and there's the submissive personality, the secondary, who's the one who joins in. And once that second person joins in, a feedback loop of delusion begins, which only increases in severity, especially if the people involved are stressed and isolated from others socially or physically.
Also, make sure to check me out. I'm actually I'm doing a guest spot on Loop of Delusion on OANN.
Oh, I love
next
Loop of
Wednesday.
Delusion. OAN!
Yeah, you should check me out on it.
Yes.
It's great. I'm talking all about how never go near the sewers.
Don't go near the
Never
sewers.
go near the sewers.
Well, now you've gotten, wow, this actually did work, because have you seen the Las Vegas sewer map of disappearing people, how it connects right to the sewers? That is 100% true. And that is a great